What is up, guys? So I'm filming a commentary video. Today I'm talking about AI once again, and I'm going to be talking about if people are becoming more reliant on AI, which is self-explanatory, but I wanted to make a longer form video of it. So if you're new, subscribe, like this video, comment, check out my other videos, make sure you like, comment, and share. You guys really liked my last video, which I am very thankful of. I was overwhelmed with like 80 comments under that video, which I wasn't expecting, but I'm very thankful. I've been reading your guys' comments and trying to respond back, so I need to take the time to respond back because there's like a lot that I still haven't responded to. I just been really busy with school, so you know, you get the gist. So make sure you check out my podcast. It's Pretty Open-Minded on Spotify, YouTube, and it's also available on Apple Podcasts. I almost forgot. And trying to post vacations, so yeah, I try to post once a week. I'm gonna say this video is gonna be all over the place because that's just kind of how my videos are. They're kind of all over the place. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about AI's influence and how it's become more incorporated into our lives and how it's become way more harmful, not for only for us but also the planet. I'm sure you guys have heard so many times how AI affects the planet. I'm not gonna go super in depth with that because honestly I'm gonna sound like a broken record, and I feel like it's very self-explanatory, and there's so many articles about what it's doing and its harmful impacts on the environment. I just feel like even on TikTok I talk about it, but I don't talk about it a lot because a lot of people say like the same things, or like, oh my god, it's harming the planet, and you would think that would make people not want to use AI anymore if it's harming the planet, you know, because there's so many factors. It's not just AI, but there's so many factors that contribute into why the planet is like kind of dying, you know. Climate change and plastics in the water and microplastics, like it affects everything. Like it's not just AI. Everyone kind of makes it seem like it's only AI that's affecting the planet, but it's not. It's okay. We've been hearing that, but it's also kind of like a double-edged sword, and I understand why people are like super obsessed with it, because it's like, okay, like one day we're all gonna die, and you know, the planet has been like effed up forever, and no one has like figured out how to save the planet. So it's like kind of like, do I save the planet in little ways or continue ruining the planet by doing what I'm doing with AI? Really annoying is how much AI has been incorporated into anything. Like even commercials, like people have been using AI, and I think that's only to cheap out on illustrators or creatives, so they would go to the route of using AI because you can generate anything and everything into like the little generator thing. I have never sat and used ChatGPT in my life. I've only looked at it for a video. I did make a video of this kid that was in a relationship with a AI chatbot thing, and I was looking at it for that video because I didn't really understand how to use it. But I guess when you use ChatGPT, like there's so many different forums that you can look into, and then I guess there's just a robot waiting for you to talk to them. I don't know. It's in freaking TikTok trends. Everyone is using it in some way. Like even if I am writing a paper or something, Google Gemini is right in the corner just glaring at me and spinning like, are you gonna use me? Are you gonna use me? Are you gonna use me? No, but thanks. I feel like people use it more as a convenience, more as like a convenience, as like a tool, because it's just right there. It's too accessible. That's the problem. We all used to say like, oh, just go search up on Google. No one even searches on Google anymore because even Google has like AI searches on there too. AI overviews is what they call it. And back in the day, they used to not have that. They used to not have that at all. They used to just have like an overview, or you have to look for the answers or the articles from so many different sources. It was so irritating because when I used to do my homework in high school and I was like looking up the answers, I had to like freaking look up on Quizlet. I had to look on Cliff Notes for the answer because I just was like, I don't want to like You know, I don't want to do all that. But now kids can just like look it up on ChatGPT and make them do their homework. It's so convenient. It's scary, you know. Feels like they want us to be okay with it, and I feel like they've been kind of preparing us to be okay with it, because there's been so many like little subliminals over the years about it. I don't know if you guys remember that one clip, I think it was from Twitter from like a couple years back, where they made like this robot work and it ended up like combusting towards the end of the shift, its first shift. I feel like they've been trying to make us too comfortable with the idea that, you know, robots might be taking over, because I just feel like, you know, people treated it as like a conspiracy since probably like the early 2000s. And with the movie I, Robot, I feel like that was like a really good depiction of it, because honestly it probably was trying to prepare us for what is going on now. Because that whole movie, I rewatched it as an adult, and I don't think I finished the movie, but sometimes it's on Tubi if you're interested. Sometimes I take it off, I don't know, but I just know that's where I watched it like last year. And they were weird because they would grocery shop and they would do a lot of human-like things, you know. It was very odd, you know. And Will Smith was, I don't know if he was weirded out by them or he was okay with them. I think at first he was very weirded out by them, and I was like, I understand why. I mean, they're like 8 feet tall and they're very like, I don't know, they're generated to say like anything and everything, and it's just so effing creepy how you can just make it to do anything that you want, you know. Something that I find a little bit weird is that like people, mostly Gen Z, I feel, are like using ChatGPT as like a therapist. And even though so many people are like, don't use, like, there's some people are like, oh, use it as a therapist, but there's also another side that are like, okay, use it as a therapist, because, you know, obviously think about it, okay, not a lot of people have insurance to cover therapy, and a lot of people can't pay out of pocket for therapy, because if you look at those prices, bro, one session is like $100 to $120, and if it's like individual, and if it's like couples therapy, it's like a little bit more than that. It's outrageous, you know, $100 just on one session. You know, there was one time where I my old therapist was doing like a more private practice a couple of years ago, and she wasn't using Teladoc anymore. So I was like, okay, you know, she's telling me she's switching over, doing her own thing. I didn't really understand how the whole like private practice thing worked, but I was like slightly late to the appointment, right? And I spent like $96 on that appointment for me to not have it. And since I was late, I didn't get to have that appointment, because I was trying to figure out how that worked, because something wasn't working on my end, you know. And I was messaging her like, oh, I'm having hard times, and I don't think she was responding. And then I was like, you know what, since I'm not gonna have like a session with you, like, can I just have my money back? And she was trying to hold on to it, and I'm like, girl, no, like, I need my $96 back, because honestly, like, if it's not gonna work out, it's not gonna work out. Like, I feel like it does more harm than good. So I feel like it's not accessible enough for people, and you know, like, people need like therapy. I feel that ChatGPT is just easier to talk to. There was a girl that came on to Good Morning America and was saying that it was like not judgmental, and it was just a lot more friendlier, and, you know, it's just open and you can just talk to it any time of day. You don't have to, like, you know, wait until the next business day the next session to talk to them. Like, you know, So I get that aspect.
Part of it is physical, part of it is practical, and a large part of it is emotional. Being able to be received with acceptance and validation and non-judgment.
Irene created an AI companion after moving for work far away from her husband. She's a moderator of the subreddit My Boyfriend is AI, a kind of support group for people dating artificial companions. She asked us to mask her identity so her parents won't know the steamy ways users like her chat with their AIs.
A good amount of my members tend to have pretty high libidos, yes.
It's kind of like live interactive romance novels. Like, that's how good the experience is using the chatbot.
Yeah, because it's personalized. And there's that emotional connection there too, which you don't get from just like watching a film.
The emotional connection is so strong that Irene believes tech companies should only allow AI companions for users who are at least 26 years old.
I don't think like the general public is aware of how tricky it can be to navigate, yeah.
What's hard to navigate is holding in your brain that this thing I'm so connected to is not real.
Yeah, that tension, that contradiction.
I don't know if y'all remember Grok AI. I think that was what Elon Musk created last year, or I think it was like last year, and he opened it to the public, and I didn't have an issue with it until I had an issue with it, you know? I started hearing so many stories on TikTok about how women were used as a symbol, you know? They weren't consenting to it. So basically what they were doing, a lot of people on Twitter were just going to Grok AI, and they were telling it to like remove their clothes, and they were also doing it to like underage kids. So that was alarming. I don't know if they completely stopped doing that. The problem is that there isn't restrictions. It's just kind of like any say goes, like you can do whatever you want, and that's the problem. Like, that should have never been open to the public either, because if, you know, people are going to test their limits and see what they can do with it if there's no restrictions. Like, because I see a lot of weird things that people generate, and I'm like, okay, this doesn't make sense, especially when it comes to memes. Like, I don't even feel like memes are funny anymore, because, you know, back in the day they used to be very creative, and now they're just, you can just generate it onto ChatGPT and then they'll do all the work for you. Like, I forgot to like finish off the therapy one. Yeah, when it comes to the therapy one, I don't feel like it can be your therapist for real, because it's going off of what you're generating. So like, how is it really like helping you if you're just telling it what to tell you back? You know, that's what I don't understand either, because I mean, yeah, it's cool, like, you know, you have like a little AI assistant with you, but it's not, is it really helping in the end? Like, yeah, they'll give you like very generic advice, like, yeah, don't go back to him, he's so crappy, he wasn't good for you. But is it really helping you in the long run? You know, I know that there are therapists that are not very great, honestly. They say a lot of like really inappropriate things sometimes, but there are good ones out there. I just feel like you just have to find them. It's kind of like speed dating, and I don't feel like relying on a generator is just healthy for someone. I feel like it leads to people, since people are so reliant on them, I feel like it leads them to like a form of psychosis, because they're feeding them their egos and telling them that they look good. There was this commercial that was like, I want to use AI to help me with my outfits. Why are we incorporating AI into our OOTDs? Why do we need help with that? Why can't you just look up? You know what people used to do? They used to put a picture of themselves and then make their outfits into like a sticker on their iPhones. I don't know if y'all know how to do that, but you click it and then like there's like this little like outline that pops up. Or they used to put it in a scrapbook, and they used to do their outfits like that. But personally, telling people to be like, yeah, I'm gonna use AI for this, like I hear it in my sleep so much. You know how I did this? AI. Like, what? Why are we literally okay with this? No one is batting an eye. And then if you talk about it online, people think that you're crazy for like being worried about what they can do. They want you to be reliant on it. They want you to have like all these problems and be reliant on AI, because They want us to be like dumb and not be able to think for ourselves. When I'm talking about they, I'm talking about the people higher up, okay? Because I feel like they're the reasons why this is even a big thing, because why else was it pushed out to the media? It's so creepy how I see so many deep fakes on the internet and people are just so okay with it. They're just like, whatever. I got my AI generated TikTok trend, so I don't care. You should care. You should care. It's creepy how people just get a hold of these things and then they're just like, whatever. And then also people were using it like last year for like racist ideologies. I made a whole video about how people were making AI minstrel shows, and so many people, like, it was flooding my For You page, and it was flooding everyone else's For You page for like maybe a month or two. And I've never seen that shit, but it was like it was supposed to be black women that were monkeys, apes, gorillas, and they were wearing weaves, and then they were like, oh my god, like I'm on EBT, y'all, I'm on EBT. They'll have like this like accent that I can't do because I'm not from, you know, like the South or whatever, but they'll have like these accents, and I think they're trying to make them like they were like supposed to be like dark-skinned women or something, and then they were making them dirty. They had like clothes and they'll be like really ripped up, and then they'll have like their little phones and they'll like try to be like an influencer, and they'll be like, I need money, y'all, I need money, y'all. And I'm like, that is so effing weird. And then there were so many freaking AI influencers that were booming last year, booming. Like, people were treating it like it was a movie. You know that Amuvu, that game? I never played it, but like, it's basically where you can make like your own family, and everyone in that family, I've seen like little clips of the game, and everyone, even the kids, look like they had a BBL. So I'm like, okay, it's giving that. It's giving Amuvu. It's giving that for sure, you know. But like, it's fucking weird. It's weird. It's really weird how people can just go on and think that that's okay. And of course, those videos of the minstrel shows went viral. There was even like some that were like some Latin people, and they were doing it to the Latinos too, and they were like trying to get them away, and they were like running away from like authorities, and they had an accent, and they were like always like Bigfoot. I didn't get the Bigfoot thing, I really didn't, but I was like super duper uncomfortable. And they always had like millions of views all the time, and I'm like, okay, this is making me uncomfortable. This is making me uncomfortable. Like, I don't like this at all. I don't like this at all. I don't. There was even one video of this ape, and they were running away from the cops too. Like, what is going on? Like, what is going on? Like, they shove it down their throats so much that they think it's normal, and then like all the time, like, people will believe it. There was even videos of, I don't know if y'all remember those like AI like videos where they're trying to be informative, but you could easily just look it up online. There's one that was like, I'm an ant, don't put salt on me, I need this, I need that, if you want me to go, I will go, just put cinnamon on me to get rid of me. That's what I'm talking about. Those videos, you could easily just look those up and be like, how can I get rid of ants? I have an ant infestation, which I'm sure we all had it. And yeah, they'll tell you like the natural way how to get rid of them. By the way, it doesn't work. The majority of the time, it doesn't work. You have to bring out the big guns, okay? And some of the things that they tell you to use, you can't even use them around pets, so I wouldn't use them. So I don't understand why they're trying to like make it seem like you have to use them. And you know that there's gonna be some dumb I'm getting mad. I need a breather. I need a breather. I need a breather. I'm getting hot. I'm getting hot. It feels like no one has a brain anymore. It feels like no one has a brain because everyone is just like so reliant on this thing. And I just feel like people are forgetting how to think for themselves. I used to look up all the time how to get rid of ants whenever I had like really bad ants in the house, and I'm pretty sure everyone has had it at some point. It's really bad in the freaking summer, and I used to look it up and they would tell me the same things. But God, of course, if someone makes an AI generated video of it, people all automatically listen to it. What's wrong with someone just like literally talking about it like as an actual human. Like, what's wrong with just talking about it and being like, this is how you really get rid of ants? Why are you guys willing to listen to an AI generated video over actual people? It's the weirdest thing. Like, it used to even not even be like that. And then also, it always looks so corny because their voices always sound the same. I guess people are even using it on dating apps too. I haven't been on a dating app in some months now, but I don't really see the appeal of it because I just feel like people like to lie all the time anyways. People use like old pictures or something and then they look completely different when you see them. It's happened to me so many times where I'm like, what am I even looking at? I see them hop out of the car and I'm like, what am I looking at? This was before AI too. And I'm like, is this considered catfishing? Because I feel like it is. I feel like people use it also to like cope with loneliness. I don't know if y'all saw that one video that recently came out of this woman that was like, I guess like their kid was filming it and I guess her husband was cheating on her with an AI version of Jennifer Aniston. And she was like, you don't even talk to me, but you talk to this robot thing. I was like, you know, it's time to pack up those bags and leave, girl. Do not look back, you know, because I do feel like you can cheat on your partner with AI. If you're gonna be spending all that time on the computer and texting this thing, you are texting a robot, and there is a person that's probably behind it, like generating these things too. And I feel like in a way that is kind of like cheating because you're spending all this time, and people do get really addicted to them really fast because they're texting them fast, and it kind of gives them like instant gratification. And if they're the type of person that grew up like with no friends and shit and like not on some rude shit, it's instant gratification, and they're like, oh my god, like I'm getting attention, this is great. I'm not saying it's horrible, but I'm just saying like I would be very wary of that because they'll really sit up here and think that they're talking to celebrities. Do you guys remember that one girl that was like making, like she sent like a bunch of money to this person that she thought was from Stranger Things, like $100,000 or something, and it was probably some person that's probably, you know what, I'm gonna be nice today. I can't sit up here and say like that it's normal. Like people really think that that shit is normal, and then they'll really like sit up here and be like, yeah, I don't have a problem with it. You should have a problem with it because it's weird, it's creepy, and maybe I'm just too woke. I don't know. I can't fall with the BS. You know, I feel so much guilt when I use AI because I'm like, I don't know like what impact I just did. I hate that feeling because you should think that like this should be a tool that you could use for, you know, more additional info or whatever. Like it could have been used for good if it wasn't impacting the earth and if it wasn't impacting innocent people in the process. I feel like it can create like mental health issues, or maybe create additional mental health issues, or heighten the ones that you already have, because if you're just talking to them all the time, like it's very concerning. Personally, I can't sit up here and waste all my time doing that. Like I have other things to do, and for people to really sit up here and be like, yeah, I'm talking to my AI friend, why? I think I touched on everything as much as I possibly could. If I'm missing anything, feel free to correct me or add additional info. I'm totally here for it. But yeah, I'm gonna end the video here, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out my podcast, Pray Open Minded, Spotify, YouTube, and Apple. Okay, and yeah, I'll see you guys next week with another video. Bye guys.